Hari Om, Bhajagovindam chanting, verses 11 to 15.
Ma kuru dhana jana yauvan garvam harati nimeshat kala sarvam Maya mayamidam akhilam buddhva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva Dinayaminyau sayam pratah shishiravasantav punarayatah Kalah kridati gacchatyayuhu tadapi namunchatyashavayuhu Kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatulakim tavanasti niyanta Trijagati sajjana sangati reka bhavati bhavanavatarane nauka Jatilo mundi lunchita keshah kashayambara bahukrita veshaha Pashyannapi chana pashyati mudho yudara nimittam bahukrita veshaha Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam Vriddho yati grihitva dandam tadapi namunchatyashapindam
Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryankaramavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti. Prolonged practice of deception you tend to deceive yourself. You go on deceiving the world. You go on pretending to the world. You go on projecting something to the world. You keep doing it. Over a period of time, you will start believing that to be the truth. That's what Hitler says in his autobiography. He says, you repeat a lie 10 times, it will become the truth. So you go on repeating something. How did you start that saying, sir? You started that to put up a face to the world. You started that to the people around you. You started that because there is a stake involved. So you don't want to lose that stake. Therefore, you started presenting yourself to be somebody, something. And you keep on repeating that pattern. When you go on repeating that, over a period of time, you will start believing, oh, that's what I am actually. That deception is pretty dangerous. That is what we call as Maya. You started off all these things to project to the world. By deceiving others, you are deceived. Like beautiful story of mullah. Mullah Nazruddin, that Sufi man, he has borrowed lot of money from so many fellows from the village. So every day somebody or the other, the fellow who has lent money, creditors, they keep coming and knocking at his door and asking, well, did you return that money? Why you didn't return? When are you going to return? They keep on bugging him so much. So he has told his wife, look here, anyone comes back, anyone who knocks at the door, don't open. They will say so many things. Don't believe. Don't believe that. Right? And one day he has gone out to the market to buy some vegetables. He came back, he is knocking at the door, the wife is refusing to open the door. And this fellow standing outside the door keeps saying, I am mullah. She says, I know who you are. And he says, no, I am the real mullah. He says, my husband has told me what all you people will say. I will not open the door. Couldn't. Oh. The door never gets opened. You are permanently outside only. That's what he say. You go on deceiving. And when you do that is, when you succeed in the deception to the world, when the world starts believing in your deception, you start believing in that. If the world is not willing to believe your deception, you will not have any issue. That is why, are you good? Not according to you. 10 people around you should say you are good. Only then you will believe in your goodness. 10 people around you should say you are intelligent. Only then you will believe you are intelligent. If 10 fellows were to say you are sick, you are sick, you are sick, why are you looking so dull? Why are you looking so dull? If 10 people were to say you are looking dull, what happens? You become dull. See, should you know your mood? Should you know your body? Or the other person should know? Should you know how good you are? Or the world should know how good you are? But we go on this, what sir? We want that acknowledgement from the world. So to receive that acknowledgement, I start presenting myself in a particular way. Because only then the world will accept. Like you see me sitting in this kurta, this one and all those things with mala and all those things. You come home, I'll be sitting with my shorts and t-shirt. You think what? My God, I thought I am going to meet some spiritual fellow, and you bring your family members also saying, I am going to take you to my guru there, and the fellow opens the door with the shorts and t-shirt. What happens to you? Okay. No, this is not. So what I have to do? Now I have to have what? All the time I have to be in my dhoti, kurta. Always I have to have this mala, this chandan, and then more number of mala I have, better. One rudraksha is not enough. You need to have what? 4 or 5 rudrakshas has to be there, and rudraksha tied here, tied there, and I have to present myself. Some of them come in the like fancy dress competition people started doing nowadays. One day the fellow comes as Rama, another day he comes as Shiva, another day he comes as this. And ironically, one day the fellow came as Durga also. I said, hey, you are a man, no? I can understand you come as this and all that. One day he comes in, with a sari on. And you take that to be a spiritual man, isn't it? So what happens? I start wearing that. I start doing this. And over a period of time, what will happen? If I am not having those things, I will start believing myself to be what? Oh my God, I have lost my spiritual status. If I am not doing it, I lose my spiritual status. Like we used to see that in the villages, or when they do this, this Ayyappan puja, you would have seen, that happens in the cities also. In that season when they do this Ayyappan puja, during the puja time, the last one, they have this huge bhajan preparation, puja, all those things they do. The last thing they do is padipata, they call it. 18 steps is there. No, for every step there is a, they sing a song, lighting a lamp. For every step, they light a lamp. As they keep singing there, and as that singing goes, first step, second step, third step, when they come to that seventh or eighth step, suddenly you will see 4 or 5 fellows screaming and jumping in ecstasy. In that, I remember first time, I saw my dad, one fellow was jumping like that. My dad went out to him, gave one slap on his face, and people around, all got annoyed with my dad. He said, hey, that's, Lord Ayyappa has come in him. He said, the guy is going crack. Yeah, Ayyappa, look at that face of that fellow. And the tragedy is, once you will get like that, right? After that, what happens is, that same group of people go and do puja in somebody's house. In that house also they will do padi puja. Padipata they will start. When they sing, when they start that song, 4 fellows will look at him. Now, nothing comes to him. What to do? Suppose if he is not getting that ecstasy now, what happens? Oh, last time what he did in that house is a fake. So what he has to do? He has to pretend as though actually thing. So he will start saying, ooh, they'll start shouting, That is called deception. You just subscribe to something, and then you have to live to that standard. That's called Maya Mayamitam Akhilam Buddha. Maya Mayamitam, beautiful word. Says, don't get into this, man. Deceiving. Don't get into this habit of deceiving the world. However, remember this. That doesn't mean you are expected to be ruthlessly honest with the world. I'm not a great fan of Hindi movies. I'm a fan of Telugu movies. Number 1 is Telugu. Then to Tamil. 4th only I give for Bollywood. But this particular movie, beautiful scene, Pardes. That movie, there's a scene that comes. One of my favorite scenes in the movies. In Pardes, if you see, this fellow Amrish Puri will go on, asking Shah Rukh Khan, tell me the truth. I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. You will go on asking him, cornering him. Shah Rukh Khan will turn around and say only one thing. I will tell the truth. Can you take it? I'll tell the truth. Will you be able to digest the truth? See, you should know that. Those who are capable of digesting the truth, only to them you should be truthful. You should be honest. Don't try to be honest with anyone and everyone. It won't work. That doesn't mean you go to this deceptive one. See, this is what the problem is. That's why most people don't like Vedanta teaching. Now, say one thing, Ishwaran. Either say, don't deceive, be honest with everybody. Say that. Or you say, be sensible enough. Don't be deceptive. No, Vedanta says, you can't do this, you can't do that also. You say don't deceive, at the same time don't tell the truth also. Then what to do? How do you balance it? Remember, in life you should have minimum one relationship in your life where you are ruthlessly honest. All your honesty should be only with reference to that particular relationship. And how do you judge that relationship, sir? How do you decide which relationship should I be taking like that, sir? Only the relationship which is in which that party is capable of digesting the truth. If they are not capable of digesting the truth, then don't try to be honest with them. There's no necessity. Don't make that mistake. This is where the problem comes. The problem is we never develop that one relationship. All the relationship that you are having today is with all those people who are incapable of digesting the truth. To them, you can't be honest. You have to be putting up a show. You go on putting up a show like that over a period of time, you will start believing in that. And over a point, you would not know what is your original face. What are you really? You will never know. Or else, people go to the other extreme, passively being honest with everybody. And then they come back and say, sir, in these days, if you are honest, you can't, survive in this world. Honest people suffer. Honest people don't suffer. Suffering part that you are experiencing is not because of your honesty. That is because of your stupidity. You suffer not for honesty, please. The question itself is wrong, actually. People keep on asking, why is honest people suffer? Why is good people suffer? I say the question itself is wrong. Why? Because goodness cannot give you suffering. But then I do experience it. That means what? Something is wrong. Where is it wrong, sir? You are being good to people who are not capable of. You are being honest to people who are not capable of recognizing and receiving that honesty. Maya mayamitam. Understand this illusory nature of the world. See, there are, so many dimensions to this, text. Bhajagovindam gives a fantastic, instructions to our day-to-day living. There's no problem here. If you understand it in the right spirit, you will not have an issue. So he says, don't develop this garva. Ma kuru dhana jana yavvana garvam. So there's a question being asked, you will ask, sir, why is it Shankara has not included that Vidya Garvam? See, he has to give some Garva, no? Now, if he adds Vidya Garvam, you will say what? Why he has not included, Yavana Garvam? If he has included, that you will say this. Now, he has given few examples, that's about it. It's not only these three things, please. These are the common one. Vidya Garvam, everybody doesn't get. Why? Because everybody doesn't have Vidya with them. That's all. Why Shankara? Even though Vidya Garvam is far, far superior to all these Garvas, arrogance of knowledge, that is far more subtler. But Shankara is not referring to it. Why? Because for you to get that Vidya Garva, you should have Vidya with you first. Don't say my wife's name is Vidya. If at all you have Vidya, means you will have only you have to change your wife's name. That's all. And you can say, I have Vidya with me, sir. No. Even to get Vidya itself is such a rarity, actually speaking. So to develop garva out of that is more rare. These are the reasons why he has not included few other things. There are a few other, garva possibilities in life, but he has not included those things. Because there's a person who had sent a question to me, today evening. I just saw that. She's asking, sir, why is, Shankara has not included this arrogance of knowledge? He has given some examples. Point number one. Point number two, Vidya Garva is not a common one for everybody. Why? Vidya itself is not common. Very rare. But remember, if you have made an investment in Vidya, definitely you will develop Vidya Garva also. But then there is a subtler dimension also is there for that thing. The solution for that Vidya Garvam is inherent in Vidya itself. Follow me carefully. The solution for Vidya Garva, where is it, sir? The solution lies in that Vidya itself. If you properly relate to Vidya, if you digest that knowledge more, automatically you will get any field. It's not only spiritual field, please. Any field, if you see, those who start gaining more and more knowledge become more and more humble. Einstein is very, very humble. Your physics teacher will not be humble. Physics professor will say what? I know everything. Einstein says what? All my calculations are wrong, he says. All my calculations are relative. All my calculations are approximation only. There is no absolution about it. You see, so he is so humble. Newton is so humble, but Max teacher is Ramanujam is humble. Max professor will not be humble. See, but you keep gaining more knowledge, more knowledge. Let the arrogance be there. Don't worry about it. Gain more knowledge. Gain more knowledge. What will happen? Will happen. Similarly, the same will not be happening when it comes to this dhana, wealth. It's not that you start gaining more wealth, more wealth, more wealth, you will become humble. No. More wealth will not give you humility. More wealth will give you guilt. Remember. You don't know the difference between guilt and humility. You see, all this wealthy group is what, sir? Guilty. You see, philanthropy work, who does? Only wealthy people do. Poor fellows don't do philanthropy work. Why? Middle class people don't do philanthropy, no. Why? Why middle class people don't do it? Middle class fellow will feel so pride that he gave 5 rupees to one beggar in the street. He'll think, he has done a great service. Now we will see that this Sunday, this Sunday, this Grahana comes, no? Grahana Kala is the time period dedicated for Dhanam. You know that? It's a period dedicated for it. I recommend every one of you to do something. Some dhana you do. Doesn't matter what. Of that, the best thing they say is Swarna Dana. Don't get heart attack. That's why I don't say these things. Because if you do Swarnadana, it is equated to Bhudana of that period. Bhudana Malla, forget these days, nobody does. It's very rare to find a person who does Bhudana. We were doing Bhudana, in the 50s. Now Bhudana means a fellow will he will die. He will not give Bhudana. That's why they say during this Grahana period, you give that Swarna Danam that is treated as equivalent to Bhudana. Because who will do that, sir? Philanthropist. First thought we get who? Only rich people should be doing. No, isn't it? Middle class and poor people are supposed to be the receivers of philanthropy, charity, and rich people are the one who are supposed to be doing the charity. Middle class fellows, what is he supposed to do? He will stand and observe and watch. He's giving correct. And keep commenting. Facebook la potrom. That's all. No. There are certain, actions we do. Why are you doing it, sir? Wealth, accumulation of wealth, solution doesn't lie in wealth. Whereas, accumulation of knowledge, you gain more knowledge, that itself will give you humility. Why? It has got nothing to do with the knowledge, please. Then it is to do with what, sir? It is to do with that struggle, that effort that person puts in to gain that extra piece of understanding. To get that one little thing, that demands a tremendous effort. To get that little understanding, little more understanding to have. That effort makes him humble. With wealth, that is not what happens. Beyond a scale, it starts generating, it starts working on its own. You know that? Whereas knowledge doesn't work like that. Subtler you go, higher you go, struggle becomes far more. To get that little extra, to gain that little extra is far more difficult. Whereas with wealth, that's not the case. To move from 10,000 to 25,000, very difficult. From 25,000 to 40,000 is not so much, isn't it? Those who start their life with 25,000 rupees salary, for them to get to 40,000 rupees, just that probation period gets over, he gets 40,000. Whereas a fellow joins for 10,000 rupees salary, how many years it takes for him to get into the 25,000 bracket? You see that? Same way, multiplication, if you see, that initial few crores is the complication. After that, adding that another few lakhs is not a big problem. You see, the dynamics works in a very different way there. Whereas in knowledge, that's not the case. Initial stage, you will learn very fast, so many things. That's what you see in kids. The kids will learn a lot of things. After a period of time, what happens? Learning is not as much. It reduces. Why? No fault with the child. Don't think, a child has lost his interest, he has got into this. This is what everybody thinks. It's not the case. Subtler you go, adding that one more piece of information, piece of knowledge, little more wisdom to acquire necessitates humongous effort. That effort itself makes the man humble. When he sees someone who has that knowledge, immediately he understands what? My God, for him to gain that much of intelligence, how much effort he must have put in. Why? Because to acquire that I have put in. Whereas when it comes to wealth, it is not necessary that everyone has to put in that same thing. If the climate, if that market is favorable conditions, you will grow. You don't need a tremendous, intelligence for that. I say, okay, now market is down. So use all your intelligence and make money. Huh? Which means what? Making that extra profit, adding that is not purely on my hands. It's not directly connected to my effort when it comes to wealth. But when it comes to knowledge, what is it, sir? Every bit of understanding I have to get, I have to slog. So when I see someone who has even a little bit of knowledge, I can understand, my God, this is this. That is why this Vidya Garva, Shankara is not adding in this. Because Vidya Garvam is not easy to get it, first of all. It's not common. And the solution lies in that Vidya itself. Therefore, there's no necessity for Shankara to refer Vidya Garvam here. That's why he is including these things, which is not acquired by you, actually speaking. Jana, people around you out of their things. It is not because of you. The whole country rallied around Mahatma Gandhi. Because of who? Gandhi. If it is because of Gandhiji, then it is the same Gandhiji we had post-independence also, no? What did we do? Huh? If it is to do with Gandhiji, then what's that? See, people rallied around him, not because of him. In him, they saw their demand. That's about it. There is a frustration tremendously existing in that discrimination, racial discrimination. That got crystallized in that personality of Martin King Luther. That's about it. It has got nothing to do with Martin King Luther, please. It's a representation. That's about it. Now, moment people lose that ideology, Martin King Luther will lose his reference point. He will lose his stand. It is not his alone. It is collective. People around him is collective. That collective demand crystallizes in that person, so people are following him. Otherwise, where is the following? That's why he says, don't make your investment on something which is so flimsy, so easy to get lost. Whereas knowledge is not easy to lose. Remember, but knowledge will have its relevance. Knowledge will have its own application. Whereas these things can be easily pulled away from you, but it is very difficult to pull that vidya out of you. No one can steal it out of you. Very difficult. That is why we say Vidya Garvam is not included. Verse 12.
Sir, there is a question from Mahesh, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Who's that?
Mahesh, sir.
Yes, man.
So you were right now differentiating between vidya and knowledge and wealth. But why is there in the concept of knowledge, or knowledge is also a manifestation of wealth? How does that concept come into existence then? Astalakshmila.
Sorry, repeat that.
If knowledge was there was a clear differentiation between knowledge and wealth.
Yes.
But how is it then that there is a concept of knowledge being a manifestation of wealth, like in Astalakshmi, Vidya Lakshmi or there?
Oh, there. Okay. Oh, that's that part. See, when we say wealth, there are two ways we understand wealth. One, material. Another dimension is whatever I possess. All my possessions becomes my wealth. You see, so there are people who have that valor. His strength or his wealth is what?
Valor.
Is that valor? Now, South Indian Brahmin and valor will never go together. His valor will be under the carpet. He will go under the carpet, Whereas you go to a North Indian, how is he, sir? He has that. Similarly, this in the context of Ashtalakshmi, their wealth is treated in that comprehensive manner. In the context of 11th verse, he is referring to this specific one.
Okay.
What is it, sir? Wealth means material. All your material possessions, not money. There also you can take it as, sir, wealth mean, are you referring only to money? No. Wealth here means all your material possessions. In that context, I can include knowledge, valor, the reputation that I have. That's my wealth. What is the wealth of Ishwaran, sir? Ishwaran's wealth is what? Not how much money he has. My wealth is
knowledge.
Knowledge lang kadayadu. What is it, sir? Number of people are willing to
attend the class.
Attend. That is my wealth is that. My strength is that, isn't it? Suppose imagine there is another person who speaks, there are 10,000 people attending. He is bigger than me, isn't it? Now here we say about 100 people come, there 10,000 people come. So obviously he is bigger.
Okay.
This is another time. Of course, knowledge also you can include. X amount of knowledge also I have, X amount of this also. All that comprehensive one. That is what they say there. In Ashtalakshmi, when they say, they refer to various wealth possibilities. Don't think wealth means only gold. How much gold do you have? Only that would be treated as wealth. No. It is your knowledge is wealth. For another person, it is the satyam that he carries, the truth that he has. That is his wealth. Another person, the beauty that he has, that is his wealth. Each one has their own wealth. Arnold's wealth is what? His body. Bruce Lee's wealth is what?
His strength.
Physique. That speed in which he is able to perform. That is his wealth. Shivaji Ganesan's wealth is what?
Skill, acting skill.
Acting skill only. That's all. Shivaji Ganesan doesn't have. Have you seen Shivaji Ganesan fighting?
No.
It's not fight. It would be so funny. It looks so hilarious if you see Shivaji Ganesan fighting. Similarly, MGR acting is a fun. you know, they don't, you know, each one have got one aspect.
Right.
Michael Jackson has, each one has their own wealth. That is Ashtalakshmi concept. Is okay.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Verse number 12. Dinaya minyau sayam pratah Shishirava punarayatah Kala kridati gacchatyayuhu Tadapina munchat yashavayu Dinaya minyau sayam pratah Shishirava punarayatah Kala kridati gacchatyayuhu Tadapina munchat yashavayu. Day and night, dusk and dawn, winter and spring come repeatedly. Time sports, life passes, yet the gust of desires leaves not. The, you know, it's a final verse of Shankara. He's teaching, you see. Now, as he's speaking, you should visualize. Okay, he's been speaking for the last about 11 verses. He has been speaking continuously, and he has been explaining, and he's seeing the involvement people have. This that desire, that karma is not going. So he feels so sorry for every one of us, and says, "See, can't you people see that?" He says, "This is the real, you know, if you see the tone, it's a frustration. The frustration of every master. This is one of the sign of a master. The master is one who should get frustrated with you. If he is not getting frustrated with you, he is not a master then. He is a professor. You've seen in the colleges, professors, they turn to the blackboard. They teach. Whether you follow, you don't follow, that's your problem, they say. The college, they walk in. First thing many professors do is, you want to attend the class, or else get out. Don't disturb the class. See, this is a professor attitude. The master will not have that attitude. Master will do what? Even if you say no, he will pull you. I don't want, you say, he will drag you into, he will force you to do things. And you will get so annoyed with him. And he gets so irritated with you. It's a statement of irritation actually. Can't you fellows? It's like there are people who call for the direction to your house. Have you seen? Have you ever given patiently direction to someone who comes to your house first time? You say what? Hey, you come to that Hebal flyover, and the fellow goes straight. And he says, I've been traveling, there is another flyover comes, I have taken that flyover, now what should I do? Keep traveling for another 5 kilometers. Go down, take a U-turn and come back again. And then you will find this Columbia Hospital. If you see that, you give me a call, or else don't call me. You give a direction to them, you get so irritated. Why? Because for you, the direction to your house is very, very obvious, isn't it? It's too obvious. All that you have to do is what? Come, no. A few years back, we were having a class in Jai Mahal, in our, one of our classes happens there in Jai Mahal. Mr. Agarwal's, Essence house, Uma Agarwal's house. we had some program for which, we gave one information, adjacent to Indian Bank, the lane adjacent to Indian Bank. Unfortunately, we didn't realize the bank got shifted from this side of the road to the other side of the road. I think temporarily, or I don't know what. Something happened. It just shifted from this side of the road to that side of the road. Oh my God. How many calls we would have got, I said, if you want to come, find somehow come, or else forget it. So many other. See, if this is not this side, sir, there is no road here. See, if it is not here, see opposite. No. Right? No, but you said this. I said, such a thing. Just so simple it is. Just come on to the road, you will find that. After finding, I'm standing. Where? They say, I'm standing. Where? Now I keep asking them, is that Sindhi college to your left hand side or right hand side? They say, I'm in front of Sindhi college. I say, in front of Sindhi college means you can be this side of the road or that side of the road. Now what am I to tell you? So is Sindhi college to your left or to your right? And the fellow says, in front of me. Says, I said, in front of you means what? Yeah, it's here only. It's here only. You get so annoyed, Why? It's too obvious. Like, have you ever misspelled your name? Most of us would have seen many people misspell our name and you get so irritated. But to me, my spelling is so obvious. For you, my spelling is what? So when you are trying to write, what happens to me? You get irritated. Why? It's too obvious. Similarly, for Shankara, it's too obvious. But for you and me, it is not obvious. That is the problem. See, to him, it is too obvious. This all changing, man. This all time just consuming everything. That's why when Christ was asked, describe the heaven of yours. These people were asking Christ to describe his heaven. Very, very interesting portion. The heaven analysis is a very interesting one. In all theological ones, heaven, beautiful one. In one group of scriptures where they starve for water, when they conceive of heaven as what? There is a perennial river flowing with pure water. Their heaven. Right? Now the fellows who are living near the Ganges, when they conceive of heaven, they conceive of it as what? To him, if you say, there's a perennial river flowing in heaven, he says what? I have it here. Why should I go there? He says what? No. What you see here is what? Water, no. In the heavens, what is flowing? There are two rivers flowing together and they merge. You know what? One, the river of milk. Another one, the river of honey. They merge together. That's the place where you will go to. He says what? Wow. Now my question is, which heaven is true? If that heaven is true, then this is not. If this is true, that is not. Now why this fellow is not saying that fellow is not saying this? So in the Old Testament, they have, Moses has defined, heaven in a particular way. So they ask, Christ, describe your heaven, man. What is unique about your heaven? What we will get? In my kingdom, time is not, he says. and nobody understood what he's speaking. That's why Christ was crucified. He should have spoken with this, he should be speaking to the Upanishadic students. If he had come to India and spoken, we would have made one more avatar of Vishnu. Vishnu would have had 11 avatars, not 10 avatars. Christ also would have become avatar of Vishnu here, these fellows. Or they would have made him avatar of some god. We would have worshipped him here. Why? Because this languaging they can't understand. Now, what do you understand when I say in heaven there is no time? Okay. Your concept of no time means what? There is no clock. Your concept of time is what? Oh, in heaven they will not have any clock, sir. Because now the time is what you will say. It is 7:50 now. This is 2020. This is June. This is that. This is the concept of. That's not what the scriptures say. Time. A fascinating analysis. Remember, there are two dimensions to time. Okay. Which is real, you have to see. Your life is lived in this dimension of time or in that dimension of time. One dimension of time is chronological in nature. One way you understand time is chronological. Another dimension of time is psychological. He says time sports. Time is playing around with you, like kala kridati says. Kridati is sporting, playing, tossing you around like the acrobats. They play with the balls. Tak 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 tak. They keep throwing, and beautifully they keep doing it. Like that, it is doing to you. Says, which time, sir? What is time? Changing constantly. Day becomes night. Night becomes day. Day, night, day, night, day, night. Goes on and on and on. Goes on changing. Similarly, the dusk and dawn, dusk and dawn, dusk and dawn goes on changing. Winter, spring keeps on coming. It's changing. That change dimension is called time. There is no existential reality to the chronological time. That is why India, we did not write history. Why we didn't write history? Indians never written history, you know that. We have written Puranas, Itihasas were written, but history was not written. Why they didn't write history? Don't say that these people didn't know how to write. You thought these people didn't know how to write, how to preserve. When they could preserve all these things, this wouldn't have been a big problem for them to maintain it. Why they didn't bother about it, sir? Because they realized your life doesn't go based on the chronological one, because chronological one is fixed. There is no difference. 24 hours is same. There is no change, isn't it? Is it changing? Like 2000 millennium. Eve, what did you do? He said we fasted. Why? Friday. That was a Friday. Therefore, what do we do? Friday we fast. That's all. We fasted that night. Full stop. Morning, what did he do? He woke up. What is the difference between the sunrise of the previous day, the sunrise of the next day? There's no difference. Same thing. It takes 24 hours means it takes 24 hours. That's fixed. But that 24 hours you don't experience the same way. Isn't it? Like right now that 50 minutes of the class being passed. Okay. 50 minutes, 60 seconds for that 50 times it has moved. That's a standard one for all of us. But one person will say what? Oh, 50 minutes already over. It looked like he just started the class. One person will say. Another person will say for the same 50 minutes what? My God. Only 50 minutes, huh? Same thing. This is the only thing I have understood in relativity. Einstein, he went to university to deliver a lecture on relativity. And there's all this, new country, when the Einstein comes, obviously all this media fellows will come, no? One media fellow came and asked him, sir, can you explain what is that relativity theory? No clue of physics this guy has. Simply ask him, that's what media fellows are. You have a mic, you ask anybody. As though, he is an expert in the subject. He asked, but Einstein being Einstein, he gave a beautiful reply. I don't know how to explain to you. This is all I know about relativity theory. I don't know anything more than that. Okay, this is all I know. But this much is sufficient enough for us to understand what is relativity. He said, I give a hot potato in your hand. The seconds will appear hours. You have a hot girl. Hours will appear seconds. This is called relativity, he said. You live on which plane? Which is real to you, actually speaking? That 15 minutes is real, or this is called heaven and hell. That's all. If you are enjoying the class, what happens to the time? Shrinks, as though that 50 minutes vanished like this. If you enjoy it. Suppose if that same class were to be a torture, right, like maths class, that what? Never ending. That is called hell. Heaven or hell, not a geographical place, please. It is here how you experience your life. If your experiences are nice, enjoyable, time shrinks. To me, it looks like only yesterday I started. Yesterday I decided to stay home. Already it is 100 days for me. I've hit 100 days already. Hey, my God, superb. But this 100 days looks like what? Just like that passed, finished. Years also had passed like that for me. I was telling, recently we had our anniversary. He was saying, oh, he said 19 years. 19 years, my God. 19 years. Whew. And then I calculated how many years I've been in Bangalore. Almost 24 years. 24 years. It looks like yesterday only I met, Mr. Manjunath in the railway station, but just vanishes when your experiences are enjoyable. Time shrinks. When your experiences are so dragging, boring, painful, time stretches. Now go back to what Christ says. In that kingdom, no time. Means what? It will go, huge thing will disappear like that. You won't even recognize the time. That much would be the enjoyment. Now, Kala Kridati. Just time sports. You people are lost in what? You are lost in the chronological dimension of time. If you are going to be living life on that chronological plane, Kala becomes death. If you have learned to live in that psychological plane of time, Kala Kridati. It's a sport. That's why in this country, they say there are two great heroes of this state. Rama, Krishna. Both are avatars of Vishnu. But Krishna is considered as Purna avatar. And you see the story of Krishna. What do they say? Krishna Leela. Rama Katha. Very, very interesting. They say Rama Katha only. Rama is story. But Krishna's is what? It's a Leela. It's a sport. What's the difference, sir? Rama lived in one plane. Krishna lived in another plane. In which plane you are going to live your life? Kala just goes off. Now, to you and me, what is Kala today, sir? To you and me, that Kala is a law. What is the law of life? The law is very different from our plan, our expectations. What is our things? Everybody wants to predict the future, isn't it? Every attempt of us is what? Predicting the future. That's why, all the news channels, TV channel, first thing in the morning is what? What is it for you today? Even those who say, I don't believe in God, believe in Graha, believe in horoscope. What's a prediction? You wanted to predict the future. And why do you want to predict the future? Because you wanted to control the future. This horoscope and all those things can predict, like cyclone. Cyclone is going to come. You can predict it. But can you control? You can't control cyclone. You can't tell cyclone, change the direction. When tsunami comes, you can't say, I'm going to change the direction of tsunami. You can predict at maximum, highest one. There also, the predictions are not foolproof. It's an intelligent calculation. That's about it. Projection. There is no clarity to that, please. There's no clarity to the prediction. It's just a projection they give. They say, in all probabilities, this can happen in your life. That's about it. No one can particularize it. But we want things what? Tell me clearly. You can't predict, you cannot control, and you cannot sustain whatever you are having right now. This is another problem we have. See, three things we have an issue in life. One, I want to predict my future. I'm only discussing with reference to future now. We'll discuss another angle is to discuss from the past. But what is interesting in life is, whatever you are calling as past doesn't have a existence. Your past exists where? In your memory. It's not that it is there. See, right now, the refrigerator in your house is there, isn't it? So whenever you want to have a water, you can go open the fridge and drink that water and come back. It is there. Whereas, what about your past? In that, can you distinguish between today's afternoon, 2019, 1997? What is the difference between 1997, 2019 and today's afternoon? June 19, 1997, afternoon, 12 o'clock. Now, June 19, 2019, afternoon, 12 o'clock. And today's afternoon, 12 o'clock. Which is real? None of that exists, isn't it? None of that exists. But the interesting part is, today's afternoon, you will remember. If I ask you, what did you eat today afternoon for lunch? You will tell me. Why? It's there in your memory. That's all. Your past has no difference. This moment backwards, everything is gone completely. Similarly, future also, there is nothing. But all of us believe the future is already there and I am just entering into it. We think it's like Bombay. From Bangalore, I go into Bombay. How slowly I get in, no? Like that, slowly I am going into my future. No. It gets created as you go there. That's all. It doesn't exist. It has no reality. But what we want to predict. Everybody wants to predict the future, which has no reality. It never exists. There is no existence for future. The past is just a figment of your memory. That's all. The past is a memory. That's it. It doesn't exist. Your past doesn't exist. Your future doesn't exist. Then what is the reality, sir? Only the present is a reality. But all of us think what? When I say past, you never ask the question, what is past? When I say future, you never ask the question, what is future? But when I say present, immediately everybody questions, what is present? You never ask the question, past and future. You always ask a question, sir, how to be in the present? Present is the present given by the nature. Poetry you write. That is why it is called the present. Why? It's a gift. And nobody opens that. Where are you, sir? Always in the present only. Because when the future comes as what? As future or present. When your past arrived, when that past arrived as past or as present? Only present. Present, present, present. You create an illusory division of this is present, that is past, this is future. So you divide, you create something called past out of your memory. You create something called future out of your imagination. And then make those two things more real than the present, which is having an existential reality. And that's what as Kala Kridati. Don't try to control. And you wanted to have this particular setup that you have created for yourself to be sustained. You think what? See, I have all these things with me. That should be sustained. That should not go away from me. I have X amount of health with me. That health should not go away from me. That should be sustained. I have a particular look. That look should not go away from me. Isn't it? I have particular wealth. That wealth should not go away. I have particular set of people around me. That set should not go away. Other people going, I don't have a problem. But this person should not go. Why? My setup. I expect, I want to be sustained. Shankara says, not possible. The law of life, the law of time means kala, means time. Law, dharma. That's why he is called Dharmaraja. Yama is called a Dharmaraja. Why? Rule means rule for him. Full stop. No exception. Says, what is it, sir? Says, you have to follow this pattern very, very carefully. What is the pattern? The past, the present, the future. One time analysis. Another time analysis is chronological, psychological. You fuse the two, put together, you get some glimpse of what they use the term as kala. The word time. Time sports. And beautifully he concludes by saying, I'll analyze that in the next class. Okay, come back fresh, on Monday, right? A very, very important dimension of analysis about desires. He says, yet the gust of desires leave not. The Hashavayu, this gust of desires that is not leaving you. Why it is not leaving? Why should it leave first of all? Okay, if it is there, what is your problem, man? This is the basic question. Remember, you see, now Buddha is not the first person to say, in this country at least, that desire is the cause of suffering. Right? He is not the first person. This has been told by Shankara, and this has been told by Krishna. That has been told by the Vedas. That has been told by the Upanishads. So that has been perennially been told by all these people. Every master has been telling us, desire, drop that desire, drop that desire. Now today we get totally confused when you hear that in the context of our understanding, because our understanding comes from this idea that you are growing in your life only because of your desires, isn't it? That's where we get confused. Now, Shankara, Krishna, Buddha, all these people say don't have desires. Our modern gurus come and tell us what? Desire. Now, we stand in between. Am I to follow this or am I to follow him? Whom to take? Now, you can't say both are correct. Never get into this belief, please. There is no such thing called both are correct. He is also correct, he is also, that is not possible. Both are correct, only one person can take a stand. You can't take that stand. See, both are correct means you will go by what? whichever is convenient. Think carefully in all your dimensions of life. Wherever you said two things were being told to you, contrary things, and you said both are correct, which one you followed? You followed whichever is convenient to you. You followed whatever conditioning that you have had. That's all. It has got nothing to do with your investigation, please. It's a very, very important investigation to be done. And he says, yet these desires don't leave, man. It's like, you fellows don't drop it. How much ever you suffer, you not leave that. You see, it's like that monkeys, they catch in the Himalayan places, these monkeys means, too much. So one old, monk, he said, don't worry, the new sannyasi, boy, he said, been having a problem with these monkeys. I don't know what to do. He said, don't worry. He said, bring one kamandalu. They have, the kamandalu they carry. He said, bring some nuts, peanuts. Put those peanuts inside and move. Roast that peanuts, put it inside. And you go. This monkey will come and try to take that peanuts. Slowly you can pick up one stick and beat that fellow black and blue. He will get hit. Suppose if he runs, says. And the fellow didn't understand how the monkey, if I bring a stick, automatically the monkey will run. No. He said, no. He said, he took the stick and started hitting that monkey. He was bleeding. Still that fellow is not leaving that peanuts. Because once you push your hand inside, it's easy. Because there's nothing, empty hand. When you take that peanuts, hand becomes bigger. No, it will not come out of the mouth because it has a narrow neck. It doesn't want to leave that also and run away. And it's getting beaten. Still that fellow says what? Shankara says, you fellows also behaving like that monkey. You don't leave it. You get hit here, hit there. Still, you will not. Now, that's what we will analyze. We'll see that. So, sir, essentially what we'll see is why they are saying don't have desires. Why? Why these people are so against desires? What is karma? What is desire? And why they are against it? We'll see it in the next class, Monday. Thank you. Hari Om.